Good evening all and welcome. Welcome to Nick's Wednesday night quiz. It's great to see so many teams already joining us tonight. And well, it's been a lovely half-decent day today. We started off with rather overcast and miserable weather. We took the kids out and we had a rather cool lunch in Wrighton Pools, which is not far from Rugby, and unfortunately the weather picked up this afternoon and we had a lovely afternoon with some glorious sunshine, and it's been a glorious evening really, so nothing wrong with that at all. Now tonight we start, I'm on the proper job to start us off tonight, which is going down quite well. I've only just cracked that one open thankfully, but never mind. So let's see who I was online already. Well, Clive and Janet have joined us, and the teaser says hello. Yet another fine day, getting monotonous, Nelly. Well, it is a bit, but never mind. It's great news, really, but we can't complain. My solar panels are doing remarkably well at the moment, generating plenty of power. But unfortunately, we haven't had any rain, of course, which is not doing the garden any good at the moment. It's beginning to dry out, so to keep going out there with the watering can. Well, the wife does. Andrew and Jane Lewis are just evening. They're saying good evening from Jane and Andrew. So good evening to you, Andrew and Jane. It's sunny Yelvertoft evening. Sorry, we cycled through Yelvertoft the other day on our way on a tandem, just a quick trip out. Mick Roberts has just joined us, so good evening to Mick and Bev. Hope you two are keeping all right and raring to go for tonight's quiz. Again, we'll have 6 rounds as usual of just general trivia on various subjects. It's pretty straightforward tonight. We've got Martin Davis, he's just joined us, so good evening from the Weak Link. So that's Martin and Tina. Good evening to you too. Hope all is well. I don't know whether you're joining Andrew and Jane tonight. You'll have to let me know whether you're a full team or not. Right then, tonight's rounds, we're going to start off tonight. It will be entitled, obviously we use the initial letter of the word Wednesday. So tonight's first round is going to be entitled Wednesday the 21st. Wednesday the 21st. 9, 10, 11, that should give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 possible answers. Right. So there are 13 possible answers to round 1, which is entitled Wednesday the 21st. Now, round number 2 is called alphabetical doubles. This is an interesting round. I've managed to come up with answers in alphabetical order. So your first answer starts with an A, a B, a C, a D, an E, an F, a G, an H, an I, and a J. But the last letter is also the same letter. So they're doubles, basically. So it starts and finishes with the same letter, starting with the letter A for the first answer, through to the letter J for the last answer. What could be easier than that, surely? Right, Jackie's just joined us. So that's Jackie Skip. Good evening. Good evening to you, Jackie. Hope all is well. And you've been enjoying the weather. Ched and Tracy are joining us. They're just signing in and saying hello. Hello all. So good evening, Jed and Tracy. Faye's also just joined us. Hey, Nick and Lydia. Hope all is well, she's saying. So got the Booby Prize girls already raring to go. Andrew Lewis, yes, we are playing with Martin and Tina as usual. Excellent. So it's a full squad for the Weak Links tonight. That's what we like to see. Right then, round number 3 tonight is entitled an initial letter link. I think we know how an initial letter link works. We basically take the initial letter of the first 9 answers. And then question number 10 asks you to rearrange them to spell out something, which I ask you, question number 10. Round number 4 tonight, you're going to love this one, Martin. It's sports and games. Sports and games. Probably the hardest round of the lot, but never mind. We'll see. Might be for our quizzes, but we'll see. No, there's some just general knowledge in that round. We then have a geography round, which is round number 5. Straightforward geography round, followed by a general trivia round to finish off. 10 questions just on some pretty general trivia to sort the chaff from the wheat, so to speak, or the wheat from the chaff. Not quite sure which way around it was ever intended to be, but never mind. Right then, Chris has just joined us. So Chris Meads from Split the Difference, he's saying good evening, Nick and Lydia. So good evening to you, Chris. I don't know what beer you're on tonight. You might like to let us know. Graham's just joined us. That's Graham and Jane Giffords. So the Giffords from Upper Toft. Great to see our Upper Toft contingent. What's the weather been like in Toft this afternoon? Have you had the good weather that we've had with a rather grey morning, or have you had it fine all day? I don't know. You'll have to let me know. Now then, I can't remember last week's winners because I haven't written them down, unfortunately, but never mind. I'm sure somebody will let me know who won, especially if you were the winners. But never mind, we start again. So tonight we have a possible top score of 63. Not that I can see anybody getting 63 points tonight, but never mind, we will see. Graham's just saying, yes, we had the same weather as you. So probably much the same across the Midlands. We had some pretty overcast weather this morning. But as we got into the afternoon, the sun broke through, and we've had some lovely sunshine this afternoon, so it's been great. But the grandkids are wearing, they've worn me and the wife out. We've both got bad backs as normal on a Thursday night. That's pretty straight. Oh, sorry, Wednesday, not Thursday. Let's get it right. But I still have a bad back on a Thursday as well. It takes at least 48 hours to get over it, but never mind. Graham Gifford's just saying, yeah, same with it as you. Pick a Mix have just joined us. So good evening to Pick a Mix. Hope all is well with you. And I hope you're raring to get back to the pub. It should be opening in a few weeks now. Obviously with a few restrictions to start us off. But at least you'll be able to sit inside when we do get opened. Hopefully by that time we may have had some new changes inside the pub that you will like, but we'll see about that. We'll see whether everything goes to plan. Carol's just joining us. She's saying Cornish Tyke is here, so great to see you, Carol. Let's see how you fare tonight. You've always done pretty well in all the quizzes so far, so I'm sure you won't disappoint tonight. Ian's just joined us. Ian, I don't know whether Ian's on his own. He's just put his own initials down tonight. So whether Julie and Harry are with him, I don't know, but Ian's put Ian and his bottle of Shiraz are ready to go. Now, I do know that Ian actually drinks Shiraz because we met him in Tesco some months back, and there he was with his 2 bottles of Shiraz, or weekly supply of Shiraz, whatever he got. PRS are joining us. Good evening, PRS. That's great to see Matthew and Claire. Hope you two are keeping well, and I trust Robin's probably going to be joining you, if not already joined you and just waiting to put one of his witty jokes in as normal. Mike Yates has just joined us. Good evening, Mike. I hope you're keeping well and you've had a good day. I'm not sure how many of you are back to work full time yet. A bit like me, we're waiting a couple more weeks before we have to. Well, actually, no, we are working at the moment, if you call it working. Home Alone 6 have just joined us. So saying, evening, Nick. We're all here. Great. So Home Alone 6, good strong team tonight by the sounds of things, and raring for the quiz to get underway. You'll be pleased to know, Roy, tonight we do have a round on sport. Sports and games, that is. Obviously, games includes, silly things like Cluedo, Ludo, Brudo, Monopoly. Anyway, that's by the by. Right, let's just pop through those rounds again, let you know what we're doing. For those that have just joined us, we're starting off tonight. The first round is entitled Wednesday the 21st. As it's Wednesday the 21st of April, you'll be pleased to know. So we've got 13 possible answers in the first round, Wednesday the 21st. Then we have a round called alphabetical doubles, where the last and first letters of each answer are the same. They're not necessarily one-word answers, but the last and the first letters are the same, and they're in alphabetical order, starting with the letter A, then B, then C, then D. I'll explain as we go through. Pretty straightforward. Round number 3 tonight is an initial letter link, where I ask you 9 general knowledge questions, and question 10 asks you for a connection between the previous. Take the initial letter of the previous 9 answers, rearrange them to spell out the answer to number 10. Round number 4 tonight is a sports and games round. Round number 5 is a straightforward geography round. And finally, we finish off with some general trivia, which is not the easiest round in the world. I'll warn you about that before we start, but never mind. PRS is just saying, just been for my annual checkup with my GP, who suggested I needed an earring made. What a strange thing to say. Very clever. I like that one. Cheers to Georgie and Roy, who've just joined us. So good evening to you two. Hope all is well with the Yorkies. And Penny Graham's also just joined us, saying evening, Nick, Clid, Ange, and all. Yes, same weather here as well. Don't like to say it, but we really need rain. Gardens are so dry. Yes, the gardens are beginning to dry out, I have to say. Then my bit of rain wouldn't go amiss, at least overnight at least. General Famous 5 have just joined us. So good evening to John and Hillary and the gang. Roy's just saying, hey, Nick, Hillary said we should split up due to my obsession with pretending to be a detective. I said, good idea. We can cover more ground. Oh, dear. Very clever. I like that one, Roy. Keep them coming. That is clever. Val Barnes and the Quizzy Rascals have just joined us. So there we have it, lads and ladies and lads. One of the top teams has just joined us. So team to beat, as always. The Quizzy Rascals have just signed in. So with 50, actually, we've got 50 teams signed on at the moment, which is pretty good going for a Wednesday night quiz. That's not bad at all. Not quite sure how long I'm going to keep the Wednesday night quizzes going. I know a lot of you enjoy a midweek quiz, but I do intend carrying on with the Sundays for quite a bit longer until we get the pub open, and then we can decide when we can start doing the quizzes back in the pub, which may be some time off yet. But we will see. Ian's just joined us. He's joined us tonight. He's back from sunny Wales by the sounds of things. I hope you had a good trip to Wales, Ian. It looked like it. I think you were enjoying it with the grandkids and whatever else. He's saying evening with a double-strength Hague Club 2 with ice and ginger ale. Well, that sounds good. Sarah's just joined us. She's saying hello from Sarah, Russ, James and Joe. Full team tonight then, is it, Sarah? Great to see you all. It's fantastic to think you're still doing the quiz a year on, which is absolutely amazing, really. But there we have it. So Sarah, Russ, James and Joe ready to do business tonight. What do you call a wandering caveman? A Neanderthal. Menderthal. Oh, God, I should have read that one. My local church hall organised a competition for contortionists. I hunted myself and won. Oh, dear God. Oh, dear. Keep them coming. Keep the jokes coming. Right, we have at present 50 teams signed on, raring to go with the quiz. We've got a couple of minutes before we kick off tonight. I hope that the video's okay and the audio is all right tonight, and there is no delay. I'm pretty sure we got it just about sorted out now. It does appear I can't change any settings once I've gone live, which is not very helpful, I have to say, but never mind. I presume I can understand why. I don't really understand why, but never mind. Maybe somebody can tell me why we can't change any settings once we've started a live broadcast, but never mind. Klaus just said, what do you call a caveman vegan? He's put a bad hunter. Dear God. Oh dear, PRS is saying that was quick. The European Super League is already down to the last 3. You wait, they might be inviting Crystal Palace along very soon to make up the lost numbers in the Premier League. We'll see. Anyway, yes, that was a bit of interesting news, wasn't it? But never mind. Now then, I expect the vaccination program's been going on pretty relentlessly over the last week or two. So I'm looking forward now to getting my second jab in the next few weeks, I hope. My daughter's looking forward to getting her first jab. Well, I don't know if she's looking forward, but yes, she is. Yes, she is. So she can get out and join us all down the pub pretty soon. But it's not going very well. I mean, me and Ange go to India every year, and we've been doing that for the last 10 or 12 years, and it's not going down very well in India at the moment, so I don't think we're going to be going back there this year in a hurry, but never mind. I had booked some accommodation for November, but I think it's going to be out of order. No hope whatsoever, basically. Right, Michelle is joining us, so Charlie and Michelle. James is at football training. No doubt he'll be back soon, Michelle, because you might need him for that sport round a little bit later on, but we'll see. Oh dear. Ian Miller, I went for a job as a contortionist. They asked me, how flexible are you? I said, well, I can do Thursdays. Very good. I like contortionist jokes are very good, actually, so keep them coming, everybody. Right then, everybody, we're about there, so let me just get my quiz up on the screen. I just need to hit a button. Sorry about that. As my camera's on my phone and the phone's propped up on my laptop. I don't want that. What's that saying? And we will find. Have you got the quiz there, Liz? Just checking that my daughter's actually got it on her computer. Yes. Good. Well, let's just hope we've got the same quiz. Does the first answer start with a W and then an E? That sounds about right. Okay, it's 2015, so without further ado, we've got 55 teams playing at present. No doubt one or two more will join before the end of the first round, so here we go. Starting with a W, which is not the easiest question in the world, but with the greatest overall length of any Gothic cathedral, where is the burial place of Jane Austen? It's shown in gold foil on the front and silver on the back of the current £10 note. So get your tenors out if you don't know where this is. Starts with a W. With the greatest overall length of any Gothic cathedral, where is the burial place of Jane Austen? It is shown in gold foil on the front and silver on the back of the current £10 note. Very famous place. I'm sure most of you would have been there at one time in your life, or not. Actually, I can't actually remember the last time I was there, but never mind, I must have been there, surely. Question number 2, starting with the letter E. What name links a famous swimmer, a Viking who is said to have discovered America, and a famous darts player who died in Liverpool in 2018? So what name links a famous swimmer, a Viking who is said to have discovered America, and a famous darts player who died in Liverpool in 2018? Starts with the letter E. It's just a one-word answer I want. It's a first name. What's he put? Any Cov fans on? Oh, yes, you've got some Cov fans here. Famous 5 are big Cov fans here. Question number 3, starting with the letter D. It's a 2-word answer. It's first name and second name, effectively. In a famous 17th century novel, reputed to be the world's best-selling book of all time, what new name does Alonso Quijano give himself as he decides to search for adventure? Interesting, this. Interesting fact that it's probably the best-selling book of all time, with over 500 million copies sold. So question number 3, in a famous 17th century novel reputedly to be the world's best-selling book of all time, what new name does Alonso Quijano give himself as he decides to search for adventure? What's he input? You were lucky on Sunday we turned up. Someone about Burnley, I'm not sure. Oh, yeah, of course, Man United. Oh, yes, we did give Burnley a bit of a footballing lesson, I have to say, but then there we have it. One of those, isn't it? You were unlucky, I thought, Ian. Question number 4. What former Premier League football club founded in 1902 play their home games near the River Wensum? One or two of you don't live a million miles away from that, as far as I know. So what former Premier League football club founded in 1902 play their home games near the River Wensum? That, of course, starts with the letter N. It could be Newcastle United, but it's not. Question number 5 starts with the letter E. E for ecology or something like that. The ocular immune system protects which parts of the human body from infection? So question 5, the ocular immune system protects which parts of the human body from infection? Now that starts with the letter E, which makes it a bit easier for you. And question number 6, pretty much an easy one. There's a star sign. Who knows their star signs? What is the 9th sign of the zodiac and represents those born between November the 22nd and December the 21st? I just missed out. I was born December 24th, so I don't fall into that star sign. So what is the 9th sign of the zodiac and represents those born between November the 22nd and December the 21st? That, of course, starts with the letter S. Right, question number 7. This starts with the letter I do, says Ian. Good. You should get that one then. I'm not expecting you to get that one wrong then, Ian. Question number 7 starts with the letter D. Listen carefully. Also, the Spanish word for diamond, what name is given to glittering ornaments such as artificial jewels? I know it's a bit of a vague description, but that's as it's described in the dictionary. So also the Spanish word for diamond, what name is given to glittering ornaments such as an artificial jewel or artificial jewels? So you corrected that one correctly, Liz, before I did. Jackie Sam, we love Zodiac questions. Excellent. Oh, dear. I don't expect you know which star sign at the present is in the ascending node of Uranus, do you? Right, well, I'll look that one up later. Question number 8. According to business magazine Forbes, 2020 saw Jeff Bezos become the first ever person to be worth $200 billion. Which company is he the founder of, chief executive, and president? I don't know why people need to be that rich, really, but there we have it. According to business magazine Forbes, 2020 saw Jeff Bezos become the first ever person to be worth $200 billion. Which company is he the founder, chief executive officer, and president of? That starts, of course, with letter A, which kind of makes that a bit easier for you. Now, question number 9. Let's see how good you are at your old proverbs, because I don't give you the proverb. You've got to work the proverb out. So question number 9, starting with a letter Y. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's about a 9 or a 10-word answer. What old proverb can mean that it is hard to achieve something important without causing unpleasant effects? So question 9 again. What old proverb can mean that it is hard to achieve something important without causing unpleasant effects? You've got to try and work out the old proverb. So take a look at what Lydia's written down and see whether you can figure out which old proverb that relates to. Oh, we've got 57 people logged on at the moment. That's the year I was born. Oh, no, I've got 19 likes. In fact, it was 1957. That's a bit spooky. Never mind. Question number 10, starting with the number 2. How many bread loaves would you normally expect to find in 2 baker's dozens? Or baker's dozen. So question 10 again. How many bread loaves would you normally expect to find in 2 baker's dozen? Now, is it a 2 baker's dozen or 2 baker's dozens? Don't know. Never had the plural of dozen before. What are PRS up to? Question number 11, another number. This starts with the number 4, 2-digit answer. In bingo nickname parlance, what number is normally associated with the call Winnie the Pooh? So in bingo nickname parlance, what number is normally associated with the call Winnie the Pooh? Remember, it starts with a 4, which should make that a bit easier for you. Oh, no, it's not, is it? Sorry, it starts with a 4, that one. I got the date wrong. It should have been a 1, you're right. Where did I get that from? Never mind. I was thinking out the box, clearly. So, yes, question number 11 starts, it's a 2-digit number starting with the number 4. Sorry about that, John and the gang. Yes, everybody else, I do apologise for that. You can see me going instantly bright red at the moment. Well, maybe not. So, yeah, Winnie the Pooh, number 14. No, that doesn't work, does it? It does work with a 4, however, so stick a 4 in first and We need the 2-digit number that starts with a 4. Sorry about that one, everybody. Let's move swiftly on to all the mistakes I've made. So question number 12, derived from an Italian word meaning above or on top of, what name is given to the type of classical female singing voice that is the highest vocal range of all voice types? So question number 12, starting with the letter S, I think I've got that right. Derived from an Italian word meaning above or on top of, what name is given to the type of classical female singing voice that has the highest vocal range of all voice types? Is it Coldplay? Oh dear. Yeah, you wait for the Coldplay questions later on. Plenty of them. Robin says, I can't think of a number that rhymes with poo. I thought that was a bit tricky for you, Robin, that one. Screech. Jackie's saying, oh my God, I don't know why we pay for this quiz. Neither do I. Oh dear, oh dear. What's this? I like English rock band, says Roy. Yeah. Oh my goodness, Faye. Why do pirates listen to opera? Because they love the high seas. Now you've got me laughing. That was very funny, that. Very funny indeed. Right, question number 13, starting with the letter T, not too tricky either. Which famous 1998 romance disaster film begins with the search of a blue diamond called the Heart of the Ocean? What was Roy? Come on, Roy was going to post something there and he's retracted it. Come on, you coward. Unretract your mess. No. So question 13 again. Which famous 1998 romance disaster film begins with the search of a blue diamond called the Heart of the Ocean? Is that supposed to read begins with the search for a blue diamond? Probably. Not that it matters. Right, there we have it. We've got some exciting questions there. Some tricky ones in there as well. So, yes, great to see so many people who enjoyed my obvious mistake on number what's it, which was first spotted by the famous 5, so well played them. Right, I don't think we need much time to work those out, do we? 1 or 2 tricky ones, but well done if you've got all this lot. So here we go, starting off with the letter W. That Gothic cathedral, which has apparently got the greatest overall length of any Gothic cathedral in Europe or whatever, is Winchester. Number 2, it was Eric I was after. Eric the eel, that famous swimmer that swam for Equatorial New Guinea at the Olympic Games. There was Eric the Red, of course, who discovered America, and Eric Bristow, who died in Liverpool in 2018. So it's Eric that I was after. Number 3, of course, is Don Quixote. Now, I don't think Don Quixote are playing tonight. That would have been right up their street, that question. Don Quixote. Sold apparently over 500 million copies of that book. Question number 4, what former Premier League club play their home games near the River Wensum? Well, that's Norwich City. Well done if you knew the Wensum was in that area. The ocular immune system protects the eye, of course. Number 6 is Sagittarius, that star sign I was after. Number 7, Spanish word for diamond, it's diamante I was after. Diamante. It's a name that's given to glittering ornaments and or jewels. Number 8, according to Business Magazine, Forbes, Jeff Bezos became the richest man in the world. Of course, he owns Amazon, or is the, well, he doesn't actually own it. He's the company founder, the chief executive, the president. Number 9, now this was a tricky one. The old proverb can mean that it's hard to achieve something important without causing unpleasant effects. Well, the proverb reads, you can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. So well done if you work that out. You can't make an omelette without breaking a few eggs. That was a bit tricky. Number 10, how many bread loaves would you normally expect in 2 bakers' dozen? That's 26. You can have 28, of course. I will allow that. Number 11 in bingo nickname parlance. What number is normally associated with 22? It's Winnie the Pooh. 42 I wanted, of course. I should have just put No, I couldn't have put that, could I? Number 12 is the soprano voice, of course, and number 13 is the Titanic, the film Titanic. So well done if you got that. Right then, everybody, I expected some very good scores after that first round. I'm sure we'll have a few 13s in there. And I'm sure one or two people would have been tripped up by one or two of those, but never mind. Let's see how we get on. Quizzy Rascals straight in with the 13 points. So well played, Val Barnes and the Quizzy Rascals. That's the score to beat, everybody. So how are we doing? So are you telling us that Don Quizzo sold more copies than Sir Alex Ferguson's autobiography? Yes, I am that, Robin. Wheat Links from 13, great score. Graham and Jane Gifford on 13. Sarah and the gang, Russ James Joe on 13. We've got Home Alone 6 on 13. Michelle's on 13. The Teaser on 13. Mick Roberts with an abysmal, 11 points. We've got Ian and his bottle of Shrouds on 13. Carol Green's on 13. Split the Difference are on 13. We've got the Famous 5 on 13. George and Abbott and the Yorkies are on 13. Penny Graham's on 11. Ian Miller's on 10. I hope you got Sagittarius right. That's the one that counts. Mike Yates is on 13. Jen and Tracy on 13. And PRS currently on 12. So very well done, everybody that managed to get 13 points there. Because I thought one or two tricky ones that might trip you up there. But never mind. We've got Pick a Mix coming in. With another astonishingly good score, 12 points. So well done, everybody. Nobody's disgraced themselves on that first round. Fantastic scoring there. Now then, round number 2. This is a new type of round. It's called alphabetical doubles, starting with the letter A and then B and then C. Now, all the answers, they're not necessarily one-word answers, but all the answers start with the first answer starts with the letter A, ends with the letter A. Question number 2 starts with a B, ends with a B. You'll get the idea as we go through, but they're not necessarily one-word answers. So question number 1, just to kick you off, to give you an idea, in 2011, Cadel Evans became the first person even from which country to win the Tour de France? So in 2011 even, Cadel Evans became the first person from which country to win the Tour de France? Now, do remember it's got to start with an A and it's got to finish with an A, which kind of helps you a little bit with that one. It's not the African Republic of Abuja, just in case you think it was. Right, question number 2. Born in Douglas on the Isle of Man on September the 1st, 1946, makes him older than me, who played the legend slot at the 2017 Glastonbury Festival? It's a 2-word answer. His first name starts with a B and his surname finishes with a B. So question 2 again, born in Douglas on the Isle of Man on the 1st of September 1946, who played the legend slot at the 2017 Glastonbury Festival? Some of you might even have been there. I don't know. Question number 3. Currently competing in League One, the 3rd tier of English football, which London football team play their home matches at a stadium called The Valley? That, again, is a 2-word answer. First word starts with a C, and the last letter of the second word is a C. So currently competing in League One, the 3rd tier of English football, which London football team play their home matches at a stadium called The Valley? Question number 4. It's a film I'm sure you've all enjoyed at one time or another. Unless you're my wife, she doesn't like this type of thing. In which 1980s action film does a terrorist take over a high-rise office building called the Nakatomi Plaza? So in which 1980s action film does a terrorist take over a high-rise office building called the Nakatomi Plaza? Again, a 2-word answer I'm after, beginning and finishing with the letters D. I'm sure we're all finding this fairly straightforward, aren't we? So far, he says knowingly. Question number 5. Which member of the Monty Python team played one of the title roles in the 1990 film Nuns on the Run? Is it a Christmas film? Oh, yes, definitely a Christmas film, Ian. Question 5 again. Which member of the Monty Python team played one of the title roles in the 1990 film Nuns on the Run? Question number 6. This is probably the hardest. Yippee-ki. Yippee-ki-yay, mother. Right, question number 6. Which musical was based on stories written by Yiddish author and playwright Solomon Rabinovich about Tevye the dairyman? Or Tevye the dairyman, sorry. Rabinovich. I was trying to say Rabinovich properly. So which musical was based on stories written by Yiddish author and playwright Solomon Rabinovich about Tevye the dairyman? That's a 4-word answer, starting and ending with the letter F. Question number 7, with a population approaching 600,000 people, what is the second largest city in Sweden? It's a place I've been to, and a very nice city it is. So question number 7, with a population of approaching 600,000 people, what is the second largest city in Sweden? And question number 8, as we're still on the city theme, a bit more geography. Now the name of its largest city, who was the leader of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam from 1945 until his death in 1969. So question number 8, starting with and finishing with the letter H. Now the name of its largest city, who was the leader of the Democratic Republic of Vietnam from 1945 until his death in 1969. Cracking match in the championship. Who's playing tonight then, Ian? Are you watching the football with one eye? Coventry versus Stoke. Any score then, or no, perhaps don't say. It'll only upset people if they're waiting to hear the result. So question number 9, starting and finishing with the letters I, and it's a multi-word answer, this one. Originally a hit for Brian Hyland in 1960. Which song opens with the lyrics, "She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was as nervous as she could be." And there was good reason as well. So question 9 again, originally a hit for Brian Hyland in 1960. Which song opens with the lyrics, "She was afraid to come out of the locker. She was as nervous as she could be"? Robin's just correcting me. He says, of course there's a score. It's 0-0 is a score. All right, okay, that's fine. But nobody scored if it's 0-0, so how can it be a score? Maybe a final score could be 0-0, but not during gameplay, surely. I don't know. And finally, question number 10, starting and finishing with the letter J. Born and raised in London on the 27th of March, 1988. What was the stage name? Sorry, by what stage name is Jessica Ellen Cornish better known? Not enough room on the line to write the answer. Well done, Carol. You must have it then. Oh, dear. So question 10 again. Born and raised in London on the 27th of March, 1988. By what stage name is Jessica Ellen Cornish better known? Nervous as could be. Could see the sweat running down her leg. Not enough room on the line to write the answer. Good. Right then. Well, I hope you've all done very well on that round. There were a couple of tricky ones towards the end there. But other than that, I'm sure you would have fared quite well. Look at all your answers. They're not all single word answers. But they should all start and finish with the same letter. All the way through from A right way through to J. So without further ado, let's do some marking, because I think you're either going to know those or you're not, I suppose. So here we go. Starting with number 1, Cadel Evans became the first person to win the Tour de France from Australia. Apparently he was Australian. Number 2, born on the Douglas on the Isle of Man. It was Barry Gibb I was after. Barry Gibb, well done if you got that. Number 3 was Charlton Athletic, who played their home games at the Valley. Number 4, of course, the film was Die Hard. Number 5 was Eric Idle. Number 6, in that musical, based on the stories of the Yiddish author, was Fiddler on the Roof. Fiddler on the Roof. Well done if you got that. Number 7, of course, was Gothenburg, or Göteborg, or whatever they want to call it in Swedish. Number 8, Ho Chi Minh City, named after the famous man himself. Number 9, of course, it was entitled Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. So well done if you got that. And finally, number 10, of course, Jessica Ellen Cornish is better known by a stage name of Jessie J. Jessie J. So well done if you got that. Yes, not many words end with J, actually, but never mind. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in, see how you're faring. In fact, I'm not sure there's any words in with the letter J, but maybe there are. Right, well, you have the Quiz Your Rascal straight in with 23 points. That's a maximum so far. The Weak Links not far behind on 22. We've got Jen and Tracy on 23. Clive and Janet, the Teasers, are also on 23. Michelle's on 23. George and Emma, the Yorgans have moved on to 21 points. Carol Green's on 23. Home Alone 6 are on 23. Biarris are on 22. Split the Difference are on 23. We got the Givers. That's Jane and Graham on 23 points as well. Mick Roberts, it's got full points on that round with 21 points, the famous 5. I've moved on to 23 points. Ian Miller's moved on to 18, along with Penny Graham, also on 18. Mike Yates on 23 points. That was a good one. Pigger Mix, they're saying a great round, 22 points. Sarah has also moved on to 23 points. Yeah, I hadn't thought of doing it like that before, so it was a good experiment, that, but it seemed to work all right. Till we got to J, I couldn't find anything I couldn't find anything else with J, but that doesn't mean to say I couldn't miss out something there. Right, Ian and his bottle of Shiraz, he's added 10 to his score, so he's on a maximum 23. Jackie Skip, the Booby Prize girls, they've moved on to 22 points. Well played, the Boobies. That's what I like to see. Round number 3 is an initial letter link. We have 10 general knowledge questions, where the final answer to the final question can be spelled out by rearranging the first letters of the first 9 answers. Roy's just put, hey Nick, Hillary tried to run off with a bungee cord salesman, but I knew she'd come back. She'd be back. Dear God. Right then, here we go. Initial letter link. Listen carefully. Number 1 is a one-word answer. Well, it says that in the question, actually, if I shut up. What is the common one-word title of a 1979 hit single by The Police and a 1987 film starring Steve Martin? So question 1, what is the common one-word title of a 1979 hit by The Police and a 1987 film starring Steve Martin? I'll sing it for you later. I'm sure that'll, oh God. Just looking at the next question. Right, question number 2. Hatha, Vinyasa, Bikram, and Ashtanga are all types and styles of what? So I'll say that again, just to get my pronunciation right. Hatha, Vinyasa, Bikram, and Ashtanga are all different types of styles of what? Thought. Question number 3. Of the world's continents, which has a total of 54 sovereign nations, including 6 island nations? Stop swearing. Yeah. I actually wrote, I'm not looking at the questions when I'm reading them here. I ought to. Which of the world's continents has a total of 54 sovereign nations, including 6 island nations? Question number 4. Singers Beyonce Knowles, Kelly Rowland, and Michelle Williams first rose to fame as members of which girl group? So question 4 again. Singers Beyonce Knowles, Kelly Rowland, and Michelle Williams first rose to fame as members of which girl group? I presume I got that one right, haven't I, Liz? Yeah. Oh, I hate putting questions in I don't really know much about. Oh, Lydia's been to see them apparently. Question number 5. In geometry, if an angle smaller than a right angle is called acute, what is an angle called that is larger than a right angle but smaller than a straight line, or a 180-degree angle even? So in geometry, if an angle smaller than a right angle is called acute, what's an angle called that is larger than a right angle but smaller than a 180-degree angle? Question number 6 should be relatively straightforward, as it's been fairly recently on television. In the game of golf, the US Masters always takes place in which calendar month? So question 6 again. In the game of golf, the US Masters always takes place in which calendar month? Question number 7. With a population of 2 million people, Minsk is the capital city of which landlocked Eastern European country? Roy's just put except for 2020. Okay, with the exception of 2020, Roy, I'll give you that. And with the exception of the years it wasn't played, which months it normally played in? So question 7 again. With a population of 2 million people, Minsk is the capital city of which landlocked Eastern European country? Seem to have a very lively crowd tonight, giving me lots of grief. But never mind. Question number 8. What name is given to the UK trade union that represents performers and other artists working across the entertainment industry? Very famous trade union, this one. So what name is given to the UK trade union that represents performers and other artists working across the entertainment industry? Question number 9. What breed of dog does the footwear brand Hush Puppies use as its logo? PRS is sadly, you'll remember, Nick. I did notice on, I think it was on the One Show tonight, that they reckon that one of the biggest phobias in Britain at the moment is people speaking, public speaking. Some people find it very hard to speak in public. Well, I do, especially the speaking bit. It's not the performing bit, it's the speaking bit that's the problem. So question 9 again. What breed of dog does the footwear brand Hush Puppies use as its logo? What are you saying, Trish? And finally, listen carefully. The first letters of the first 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the name of which street, and it's a famous street, in London. So the first letters of the first 9 answers can be rearranged to spell the name of which street in London. It's not actually a street at all. It's a 2-word answer, one of which isn't street. I don't quite know what to put that down for, but never mind. So we're looking for a 2-word answer. It's a famous street. Well, road, really. It's not a street at all. So the first letter of the first 9 answers can be arranged to spell the name of which street in London. 2-word answer I'm after. Well, I've just helped you with the second bit of that one, but never mind. Going downhill fast tonight's quiz, but never mind. I blame it on the grandkids wearing me out today. Very tired, very tired. Right then, everybody. Well done, Robin. Speaking as an occasional question sitter, I find the word thoroughfare works. That will certainly work better than street, when it's clearly not a street. Yeah, well done. I should have thought of that. Why didn't I put that down? I'll change it now while I think about it, just in case I come across it again. Well spotted, Robin. That's a good one. As I write the questions so fast, I don't really read them half the time. That's why I like my daughter getting here early so she can spell check it and do. Oh dear. Well, she says that's not written very well, Dad. It just sounds stupid. Oh well, never mind. Right then, everybody, have we had enough time, or do we need a little more time? Do quickly go in the chat column if you need another minute. I will give you another minute. But I'm pretty sure most of you may well have worked that out, especially as I gave you one of the words in that last. Oh no, Georgie's asking for a bit more time. That's no problem, Georgia. Now, next round tonight is entitled Sports and Games. So we've got 10 questions, loosely based on something to do with sport and or games of some description. So we've got that to look forward to next. That might sort a few out, but we'll see. Ian saying 1 minute, he needs another minute. It's not easy when you're trying to work these out backwards, is it? But never mind. We used to do the pub at the quiz at the pub on a Thursday night. At the what the hell did we do it? Jolly Abbott in Rugby. And the quiz master there, he used to rush us over these, so if we couldn't get it straight away, we were knackered. Because as soon as you handed your paper in, we got the answer. Urgh. Most infuriating, but there we have it. One of those. Well, let's hope we've, I don't know what the weather's like for tomorrow, but it's been so good so recently, hasn't it? As I said, my solar roof's been absolutely belting it out at the moment. 40-odd kilowatts yesterday and 40-odd the day before, and earning some serious money. Not that I'm going to retire on it, you realise, but it might still pay for itself. Right then, everybody, let's go back and do some marking. I fear, Georgia, if we haven't, and Ian, if we haven't got them now, possibly we're not going to get them. So let's go back to the beginning and start with that hit single by the Police and the film starring Steve Martin. That was a one-word answer, and it was called Roxanne. Roxanne. It went something like that. Number 2, of course, was yoga. Number 3, I was after Africa, 54 sovereign nations, including 6 island nations. Apparently Africa. Number 4 is Destiny's Child. Number 5, I was after an obtuse angle. Number 6, of course, the US Masters always takes place in April. Number 7, that country is Belarus. Belarus. Apparently it's Eastern European country. I did look that up just to check because I thought it was more Western European, but it's Eastern European. Number 8, that trade union is called Equity. Number 9, of course, the Hush Puppies logo is a Basset Hound. And finally, number 10, the first letter of the Fernand can be rearranged to spell the name of which thoroughfare in London. That would have read better. It's Abbey Road. Abbey Road. So well done if you worked that out. That was Beatles fame, of course, brought that road to fame. What's that? Why did the sperm cross the road? Because I put the wrong sock. I'm not quite sure. Last night I was driving home when I pulled over by a cop. He asked me if I had a police record. Apparently Roxanne wasn't the answer he wanted to hear. My court date is in a couple of weeks. Very good. I like that fight. Keep them coming. Right, we've got the weak links. They've moved on to 31 points. The Quizzy Rascals yet to drop a point. That's 33 for them. Mick Roberts is on 30. We've got PRS on 32 points. Graham and Jane are on 31 points with Carol Green on 33 points. Georgie Lambert and the Yorkies have moved on to 28 with Michelle on 22. That can't be right, Michelle. Probably 32. Jen and Tracy have moved on to 32. Sarah, Russ, James and Joe are on 32. Home Alone 6 haven't dropped a point yet. They're on 33 points. We've got Penny Graham on 24. We've got Mike Yates doing very well on 31. Split the difference. They haven't dropped a point. 33 points as well. Ian Miller's on 26. Yes, Michelle. Sorry, she's on 32. Definitely. The famous 5 are on 32. Pigovics are on 31. Ian and his bottle of Shiraz is on 32. And Jackie, Skip and the BB Prize girls are on 32 points. So there's not many of these that have caught you out tonight by the looks of things. Well, everybody, it looks like we've got some cracking scores. So let's see whether this will sort you out, because this is a bit tricky this round, but never mind. So here we go. Sports and games. Question number 1. Back to a bit of golf. How many players in total make up a single Ryder Cup team? That means either a team from Europe or a team from the United States, which they then choose from for the total of 28 games to be played. So question 1, how many players in total make up a single Ryder Cup team, which they then choose from for the total of the 28 games to be played? Oh, Clive and Janet, the teasers, also on 33 points. So cracking scores in. Oh, it's going to be close tonight. I can see it coming. Question number 2. In which athletics event did Jessica Ennis win an Olympic gold medal in the 2012? Olympics, that is. Olympic gold medal in 2012. Right, yeah, just read it right. So question number 2 again. In which athletics event did Jessica Ennis win an Olympic gold medal in 2012? And she got a golden post box named after her somewhere. Jessica Ennis. Sheffield, somewhere around there. Sorry, that's somebody else I'm thinking of. Somebody will correct me, I know. Question number 3. This is one I definitely can't get wrong. In the UK standard edition of Monopoly, Mick's going to love this one. If you pick a community chess card saying it's your birthday, how much money are you entitled to collect from each player? Okay, painted gold in, all right. Being a bit pedantic there, fair enough. Gold in colour. Okay, I didn't expect it to be pure gold. Or else somebody would have half-inched it by now. So question 3 again. In the UK standard edition Monopoly, if you pick up a if you pick up a community chess card saying it's your birthday, how much money are you entitled to collect from each player? It is time they updated it, I have to say. Dulux. Dulux gold paint, says Ian. Oh dear. Well, it might be Dulux. I presume it's whatever the council could get hold of at the time. Oh dear. Question number 4. The first official international cricket match was held in 1844 between 2 countries not known for their cricketing history or prowess. Can you name either one of the 2 countries that, well, no, you can name both. There's half a point for each. So the first official international cricket match was held in 1844 between 2 countries not known for their cricketing history or prowess. Can you name these 2 countries? Half a point for each. Sorry about that, Liz. My daughter quickly changing the question there slightly for me. Question number 5. This one was taken out the Sporting Times. It is a question I'm sure I've asked at some time before in the distant past because I'd heard of it. In 2007, an elephant went on a rampage during a polo game, injuring 2 players and destroying the Spanish team's minibus. But which European country won the 2005 Elephant Polo World Championships or Championship? So question number 5 again. In 2007, an elephant went on a rampage during a polo game, injuring 2 players and destroying the Spanish team's minibus. But which European country won the 2005 Elephant Polo World Championship? I wonder whether we could change your logo, Lids, from a little spanner to something else. I mean, it's not very feminine, a spanner, is it, I suppose? I don't know. Oh, right, okay, yeah. That's probably a sexist remark. I shouldn't have said that. Christ. I don't half choose them, I do, but never mind. Question... Robin's put, do not call your daughter a little spanner. Oh dear. Dear God, Ian. What's the difference between a G-spot and a golf ball? A guy will search for a golf ball. That's dreadful. Right then, question number 6. Sorry about the pronunciation. This is Russian. Yeah, no, it's not necessarily Russian. Yarmila Katravichiola holds the world record for which event, which is currently the longest standing individual world record in athletics. So question 6 again. Yarmila Katravichiola holds the world record for which event, which is currently the longest standing individual world record in athletics. Goes back a long way. I think it goes back a long way to the time that the teams used drugs. basically. Not that they don't anymore, but perhaps hide it a bit more. Question number 7, bit of horse racing. In horse racing, which of Britain's 5 classic races is run first in the calendar year? So question number 7 again. In the world of horse racing, which of Britain's 5 classic races is run first in the calendar year? I suppose you've got to know that one. You could, of course, have a guess. That's if you know what you're guessing. Question number 8. This is on the telly, presented by Sue Barker. Who are the current captains of the world's longest running TV sports quiz? Although I've heard she's giving up as well, but never mind. So currently presented by Sue Barker. Who are the current captains of the world's longest running TV sports quiz? And they're both very good. Question number 9. How many yards are there between each set of stumps in the game of cricket? Pretty straightforward measurement, that one. So how many yards are there between each set of stumps in the game of cricket? And finally, question number 10, question about balls. Now, have you got it? Will you get the right answer? Under the rules of which sport must the balls used have a mass no more than 1.62 ounces? Well, I don't know whether mass is the correct answer, but never mind. And a diameter no less than 1.6 inches. So under the rules of which sport must the balls used have a mass no more than 1.62 ounces and a diameter no less than 1.68 inches? And there we have it. Very tricky round that on sport, but never mind. I hope you've done well. You can have a guess at 1 or 2, even if you didn't know them all, but never mind. I'll probably be able to pronounce Jarmila Katravicia by the end of the quiz when I don't need to. Jarmila Katravicia. She still holds the individual world record for which event in athletics. Yes, interesting. Right, how are those answers going? Do we need any more time? In which case, let's do some marking. So how you fared after that tricky round. So question 1 was, how many players in total make up a single Ryder Cup team? Well, there's one from Europe, one from the States. There are 12 members in a Ryder Cup team, and they're chosen to play in different parts of the game in the 28 games that are played. Number 2, in which athletics event did Jessica Ennis win a gold Olympic medal? That was the heptathlon. The heptathlon. Well done if you got that. Number 3, of course, it's £10 that you collect from each person for your birthday. Question number 4, the 2 countries I wanted, not noted for their cricketing prowess, They were the first two international countries to play cricket, were in fact the USA and Canada. USA and Canada, so half a point for each of those. Number 5, it was Scotland that won the 2005 Elephant Polo World Championship. Number 6, of course, she holds the 800-metre female record. It's the longest standing individual record in athletics still. I can't remember what year it was, but never mind. I will in a minute. Number 7 in horse racing, which is Britain's 5 classic races, is from first in the calendar. That's the 2,000 guineas. Number 8, the current captains on the longest running TV sports quiz are Matt Dawson and Phil Tufnell. Matt Dawson and Phil Tufnell, and very good they are. Make me laugh anyway, especially at the end. Question number 9, how many yards are there between each set of stumps? Well, it's one chain, which is 22 yards. And finally, number 10, the rules of which sport must the balls used have mass no more than 1.42 ounces and a diameter no more than 1.68 inches? That is the game of golf. Golf again. So well done if you got that. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in, because that was a tricky round. I can't expect everybody to get all of those right, surely. But I'm sure we'll have some good scores all the same. So Quiz Your Rascals have moved on to 43 points there, yet to drop a point. Martin Davis and the Wheat Links, they moved on to 36.5. Well played, Martin. Must have got USA or Canada right. Jen and Tracy have moved on to 40. We've got Georgie Lambert. And the Orcas have moved on to 35. PRS have moved on to 41. Carol Green, 43 points. They're doing really well here. Ian Miller's on 32. We've got Sarah, Russ, James, Joe on 37 points. We've got Mick Roberts moved on to 40. We've got Clive Janet and Teasers on 41 points. Michelle's doing well on 37.5. Home Alone 6 are on 41 points. We've got Beck and Mix on 39. The Famous 5 have moved on to 37. Split the difference on 42. Graham and Jane didn't like that round, obviously. 35.5. They probably knew USA, other than Canada. Penny Graham's now on 31 points. Right then, let's put you out in misery. Round number 5 is a geography round. Very straightforward geography round. 10 questions on geography. Let's see how we fare with this little lot. So question 1 is a play of Booby Prize Girls and come back to an earth with a bump at 35. Well played, Jackie. And Faye, you're doing very well there. And Ian, he added 9 to his score, so that's a very good 41 points. There's some great scores around there. Right, round number 5 is geography. Question 1, on which Greek island would you find the holiday resort of Falaraki? So on which Greek island would you find the holiday resort of Falaraki? Oh, Mike's come in with a 34. Well done, Mike. I don't suppose the sport round particularly suited you. I don't know. Not easy, some of those sports questions, I have to say. There we have it. Question number 2. In which southern county would you find Great Hangman, the highest sea cliff in England? So question 2 again, in which southern county would you find Great Hangman, the highest sea cliff in England? I suppose we're going to... Hello, Great Hangman. Interesting name anyway. Question number 3. With the nickname of Sin City, amongst others, which American city is served by McCarran International Airport? So question 3 again. With the nickname of Sin City, amongst other nicknames, which American city is served by McCarran International Airport? Now, there's a place I've never been to, but I'm sure a few of you will have been. Question number 4. Which British overseas territory is located on the southern end of the Iberian Peninsula at the entrance to the Mediterranean Sea? Sure, we'll all know that one. So, which British overseas territory is located on the southern end of the Iberian Peninsula at the entrance to the Mediterranean Sea? Question number 5 is an interesting one. Well, I didn't really know, but never mind. Which of these motorways can't you join directly from the M25? I'll give you the choices. Is it the M1, the M2, the M3, or the M4? So question 5 again. Which of these motorways can't you join directly from the M25? I'll give you the choices. Is it the M1, the M2, the M3, or the M4? That's an interesting question. Question number 6. The American state of Virginia was named after which famous person in history? So question 6 again. The American state of Virginia was named after which famous person in history? Question number 7. This is a place we nearly got to, but you can't actually cycle there. Sharing its name with one of the 7 deadly sins, which cape is the most northwesterly point on mainland Britain? Me and my darling wife we cycled within a few miles of it, but we never got down to it. So question number 7, sharing its name with one of the 7 deadly sins, which cape is the most northwesterly point of mainland Britain? Ian's retracted his message. Must have been rude, Ian. Question number 8. Which language is second only to Mandarin in terms of its number of native speakers worldwide, and is third in terms of total speakers behind Mandarin and English? So question 8 again. Which language is second only to Mandarin in terms of its number of native speakers worldwide, and is third in terms of total speakers behind Mandarin and English? Question number 9. Country I've been to, but not a place I've been to. With a population in excess of 1.2 million people, Abuja replaced Lagos as the capital city of which African country in 1991? I watched the Lagos weather forecast from a hotel room once. That was interesting. So question 9 again. With a population in excess of 1.2 million people, Abuja replaced Lagos as the capital city of which African country in 1991? And finally, question number 10. In this not too tricky geography round, what is the smallest and shallowest of the world's 5 oceans? So question 10 again, what is the smallest and shallowest of the world's 5 oceans. That's exactly as it went, Robin. Today is the Lagos weather forecast. It will be hot and sunny. Pointing at a board behind him made of chalk with a yellow sun on it. That was about it. You'll know what I mean if you've ever been to Lagos. No wonder they moved the capital, really. Oh, dear God. Right then, everybody, how are we faring with that little lot? Scorchio. Yes, quite warm there most of the time. Okay then, everybody, let's do some marking after that geography round. Face just said, a coach full of musicians was broken down on the motorway. Police said to expect some lengthy jams. Keep them coming, Faye. That's a cracker. That's a cracker. Right, here we go then. Geography. Which island would you find the holiday resort of Falaraki? That was, of course, in Rhodes. Number 2, the southern county I was after, where you would find Great Hangman, the highest sea cliff in England. That is in Devon, surprising. That's not what I would have put, but it's Devon. Question number 3, with the nickname of Sin City, which American city is served by McCarran International Airport? That's Las Vegas. Number 4, the British overseas territory I was after, of course, was Gibraltar. Now then, the motorway question. Well, it can't be the M1 or the M4 because I've been down both of those from the M25. So it's got to be the M2 or the M3. So the answer is the M2, apparently. You cannot join the M2 directly from the M25. Number 6, the American state of Virginia was named after, of course, Queen Elizabeth I, nicknamed the Virgin Queen. Be interesting to find out how many states in the US actually have got English name connections. There's got to be plenty of them. Number 7, sharing its name with one of the 7 deadly sins, which Cape is the most northwesterly point of mainland Britain. That's Cape Wrath. Cape Wrath. Number 8, which language is second only to Mandarin in terms of its number of native speakers worldwide? That's Spanish. Number 9, with a population in excess of 1.2 million, Abuja, of course, is now the capital of Nigeria. And finally, number 10, the smallest and shallowest of the world's 5 oceans is the Arctic Ocean. The Arctic Ocean. So well done if you got that. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in after that round. I'm expecting some pretty good scores in there. They were not too tricky. I think the Devon one was a bit of a nasty one, but never mind. Well done that. Maybe the M2, a bit tricky. Okay then, everyone, let's see how we've fared. So we have Jed and Tracy on 48 points. The weak links have moved on to 43.5. Graham and Jane on 45.5. We've got George Lambert and the August have moved on to 42 points. With Sarah, Russ, James and Joe on 45 points. Doing very well. Pick a Mix on 47. The famous 5 on 46. We've got Michelle Charlie. I don't know whether James is back from his football training. He's on 46.5 points. We've got Carol Green, 51 points. That's a cracking score, Carol. Ian Miller's moved on to 38. We've got Clive and Janet and the Teasers on 50. We've got Mick Roberts on 49. Val Barnes and the Quizzy Rascals on 53 points. They're yet to drop a point. Mike Yates is now moved on to 39 points. Penny Graham's on 37 points. Home Alone 6 did not like that round. They've moved on to 47, however. That's still a very good score. PRS 51. A2 joins the M25. Well, it's not the M2, is it? Yes. Okay. Well done, PRS. Ian and his bottle of Shiraz. They've added 9 to the score. They're on 50. We got Booby Prize Girls on 53 and Split the Difference on 52 points. So it looks at the moment we've got a few teams in the 50s which are doing remarkably well. So well played, you. Quizzy Rascals are yet to drop a point, but they might do in the last round, as there's 1 or 2 tricky ones in there. But we will see. The Quizzy Rascals, of course, tonight have got Paul Sinner playing with them and the Dark Destroyer in their team. So obviously they're proving very good value for money tonight, the Quizzy Rascals. So welcome to, yes, Paul Sinner, Mark Labette, and everybody else. Oh, you've also got, guest starring, what's her name? Anne Hegarty is also part of the Quizzy Rascals team, so we could be in trouble tonight. Anyway, here we go then, general trivia. Question number 1, listen carefully. This is a tricky one. Oh, because I haven't even got an answer. It's just as well I know the answer. So question number 1, although no longer an Olympic sport, which game first played at the 1900 Paris Olympics was the first event in the game's history in which women were allowed to compete? So, although no longer an Olympic sport, which game first played at the 1900 Paris Olympics was the first event in the game's history in which women were allowed to compete? Now, there we have it. That's an interesting question. What you got to think of is a nice womanly pastime, I suppose. The fairer and gentler sex, 1900. We are 120 years from there now, so things have changed a bit. Better put the answer down. What was it? Oh, yeah. Question number 2, in the list of the 7 deadly sins, which is normally considered to be the most serious of the 7 sins and the source of all the others. So in the list of the 7 deadly sins, what is normally considered to be the most serious of the 7 sins and the source of all the others? Can I name 4? I'm sure I can think of them all slowly but surely. Question number 3. Formed from old red sandstone and one of the tallest stacks in the United Kingdom, the Old Man of Hoy is a 449-foot sea stack. But in which group of islands would you find Hoy? Sorry if that's a bit geography for you, as we've just had a geography round, but never mind. So question 3 again. Formed from old red sandstone and one of the tallest stacks in the United Kingdom, the Old Man of Hoy is a 449-foot sea stack. But in which group of islands would you find Hoy? Too much geography. Wife's saying too much geography. How much sin are we having tonight? Oh, dear God. I'll be shipping you off to Sin City if you're not careful, Jackie. Sin City, here we come. Question number 4. This is an interesting question. The New Testament is a collection of Christian texts originally written in which language? Hi, Black Panther. How are you? All right? We're in round 6, last round of the quiz, unfortunately, but never mind. So question 4 again. The New Testament is a collection of Christian texts originally written in which language? That is a good question. That's one I didn't know either. You see, you'll learn a fact every night. If you've never heard of this one, it's one fact you'll learn. Ian, you're going to get me banned here. What did one saggy boob say to the other saggy boob? If we don't get some support here, we'll think we're nuts. I'll think we're nuts. Oh, dear. Yes. Question number 5. Which company was founded in 2006 with one of its founders, Jack Dorsey, explaining that the name for the company was chosen as it meant both a short burst of inconsequential information and chirps from birds? That kind of gives it away a bit, doesn't it? So which company was founded in 2006 with one of its founders, Jack Dorsey, explaining that the name for his company was chosen as it meant both a short burst of inconsequential information and chirps from birds. Next door neighbour's dog's barking. That's very unusual. Oh, that sounds like the hounds of the Baskervilles is out there. Question number 6. How is the Antoinette Perry Award for Excellence in Broadway Theatre more commonly known as? He's just put, if you commit one of the 7 deadly sins, you should be punished. If you commit all of them, you should be a politician. Oh, dear God. So question 6 again. How is the Antoinette Perry Award for Excellence in Broadway Theatre more commonly known? Question number 7 is good old nursery rhyme. In the old nursery rhyme, Little Boy Blue, come blow your horn, which animal is found in the corn? So in the old nursery rhyme, Little Boy Blue, even come blow your horn, which animal is found in the corn? Don't quite know why it's found there. There won't be much corn left. Question number 8. I'm after 2 letters. I will give you half a point for each of these. Which 2 letters of the alphabet start the names of 16 of the United States of America between them? So question 8 again. Which 2 letters of the alphabet start the names of 16 of the United States of America between them? Somebody's been watching Who Wants to Be a Millionaire last night. You should know the answer to one of them. Right, I've only got 2 questions to put you out your misery tonight, but everybody's doing really well as usual. Question number 9. Historically within the county of Stirlingshire, which large town in the central lowlands of Scotland is covered by the FK postcode area? So historically within the county of Stirlingshire, which large town in the central lowlands of Scotland is covered by the FK postcode area? I don't want any rude answers to that one, thank you. And finally, question 10. Final question of tonight's quiz. See whether you get a full score. Let's see whether the Quizzy Rascals can get a full score tonight. I expect 1 or 2 of you hoping they don't, but we'll see. Question number 10. In what decade of the 20th century was the BBC television licence fee first issued in the United Kingdom? I'm going to give you the choice. Was it the 1930s, the 1940s, or the 1950s? Sorry. So question number 10 again. In what decade of the 20th century was the BBC television licence fee first issued in the United Kingdom? It was only £2 something, which apparently equates to about not 80 some odd pounds in today's money. So it's actually a bit cheaper than it is today. But obviously that was just black and white and most people didn't have televisions, I suppose. So I gave you the choice. Was it the 30s, the 40s, or the 50s? Right, there we have it. 10 general knowledge questions, some which were easy, some which were hard. Well, of course, they're only hard if you don't know them. So get your answers down, and I will give you, I'll give you the correct answers are the ones I've got. Then we can argue about them afterwards. Now, do remember, I do like if people can hit the like button or subscribe to my YouTube channel. It makes it easier when I send out when the quiz is on thing. It automatically shows up in your notifications. And of course, if you've liked tonight's quiz, just hit the like button, especially the teams near the top. It's always the best, isn't it? Do remember, of course, we do a Sunday night quiz, same time, 8 for 8:15. Sunday night quizzes are slightly better attended, so there are more teams, obviously, to pit the wits against, or pit your wits against. So it's great to see so many people still enjoying the quiz, and I'm glad that we still keep in contact with you all. Anyway, let's go back and do some marking over this round, the general trivia round, and see how we've fared. Question 1, although no longer an Olympic sport, which game first played at the 1900 Paris Olympics was the first event in the game's history in which women were allowed to compete? That was the game of croquet. Croquet, well done if you got that, because that was a tricky one. I suppose it's a nice gentle game, isn't it? Although it can get very violent, I know myself, because we used to play a bit. Question number 2, in the list of the 7 deadly sins, what is normally considered to be the most serious of the 7 sins? That is pride. Pride. Number 3, formed from old Redstone, the Old Man of Hoy can be found in the Orkneys. Well done if you got the Orkneys. Question number 4, that was a tricky one. The New Testament is a collection of Christian texts originally written in which language? Well, it's Koine Greek, so it's basically Greek. It's a form of Greek anyway, so Greek, that's what I was after. So well done if you got that. Not Arabic, not Hebrew, but Greek. Number 5, which company was founded in 2006? One of its founders was Jack Dorsey. Basically, it was Twitter, birds, chirps from birds and whatever else, I suppose. Number 7, the Antoinette Perry Award. Well, Antoinette, of course, it's been shortened to the Tony Award. So well done if you got that, all the Tonys. Number 7, in the old nursery rhyme, Little Boy Blue, come blow your horn. Which animal was found in the corn? Well, it was the sheep in the meadow and the cow in the corn. So it was the cow I was after. Number 8, which 2 letters of the alphabet start the names of 16 of the United States of America between them? Well, there are 8 start with the letter M, and there are 8 start with the letter N. So N and M. Don't ask me to pronounce them all, because I'll fall over a very early hurdle. Question number 9, of course, historic found within Stirlingshire, the FK postcode area, covers Falkirk and its environs. And number 10, in which decade of the 20th century was the BBC television licence first issued? That was just after the war in the 1940s, So well done if you got that. Right then, everybody, let's have some scores in and see how we've all fared after that scintillating last round of general drivel. I hope you all enjoyed the croquet question. That's something that the first one that women were ever allowed to compete at the Olympics. That's got to come up again, surely, in some quiz. So well worth putting that one into the knowledge banks. Right, Georgie Lambert and the Yorkies are on a fantastic 50 points. So well played you. PRS ended up with 61. Well played PRS, as has Carol Green on 61. Famous 5 have ended up with 54. Well played John and the gang. Jed and Tracy, they've ended up on 54.5. We've got Martin Davis, the Wheatlinks, he's saying grim. However, 47, that's still a good percentage, right, Martin? Sarah saying terrible last round. Only 50 points. Well, I suppose if you guess a few wrong, yeah, it soon adds up, doesn't it? Never mind. So thanks, Sarah, Russ, James and Joe for your company tonight. I hope you enjoyed yourselves, had a few beers and enjoyed whatever. And I hope Sarah's improved after the other day when she'd had too much to drink. But never mind. Ian, fantastic 9 points on the last round, takes you up to 59 points. The givers, that's Jane and Graham on 52. Well played you. Look forward to seeing you on Sunday again. Clive and Janet, the teasers, 58.5 points. And that's a cracking score with Ian Miller on 44. Michelle's enjoyed the quiz. Excellent quiz. Well, it was excellent until the very last round, I suppose, wasn't it? No, The first 3 rounds was very, very close. Excellent quiz. You're saying 54.5. The Quizzy Rascals have ended up with 60, so perhaps they haven't got Anne Hegarty on the team. I don't know, but that's still a great score. Well played, the Quizzy Rascals. We've got Mike Yates on 43.5. Penny Graham's on 44. Pick a Mix end up on 55 with Mick Roberts on a very respectable. Well played, Mick Roberts, 58 points. I suppose the geography and maybe the sport helped Mick out there. Home Alone 6 end up with 55.5 points. Well played them. The Booby Brass Girls end up with a very respectable 50. What's Robin just put? I have an old-fashioned way of knowing when the quiz is. I simply remember that it's on Sundays and Wednesdays. That's fair enough, Robin. I'm just reminding people, just in case they want to invite their friends around. Split the difference, end up on 61 points. So it looks like we've got all the scores in. So does that mean, wait a minute, we've got split the difference 61. We've got the Quizzy Rascals end up on 60. We've got the Teasers on 58. We've got Carol Green on 61 points. And we've got PRS on 61 points. So it looks like it's a 3-way split for the top spot. You managed to pick the Quizzy Rascals on that last round. So PRS, Carol Green split the difference, 61 points, with the Quizzy Rascals on 60. Ian with his bottle of Shiraz on 59. And Janet the Teasers on 58.5. And if I've missed anybody else, do shout at me. But some fantastic scores. Well played, everybody. Thank you very much for taking part tonight's quiz. As I said, there's 1 or 2 questions there you need to put to memory. Certainly the one about the, I suppose, the TV license, the croquet, definitely. It's well worth putting into the memory banks for next time. So thanks for taking part tonight. Do hit the like button before you leave. And it's good night from me, Lydia, and, of course, the wife who's been doing the quiz. So good night from us 3, and take care. We'll see you on Sunday. Cheers. What's that?